And talking of the exciting heavyweight division and future threats, Hughie Fury, of course, who we saw not too long ago, he's still there and thereabouts. Very young still, time very much on his side. What's the plan for him now over the next kind of 2 to 3 fights?
Hughie's going to be in a serious fight. So, like I said, they don't want Hughie to have a mediocre fight. They want Hughie in a serious fight because he's at that level. And, we're happy with that anyway. So it's not really a problem for us. So Hughie knows what he's doing, and they have mentioned a few opponents to us. So we're just waiting for finalisation on them. And I'm sure when the time's right, Matchroom will be announcing the date and venue. But he will fight this year, 100%. He'll either fight on the Dillian White card, or he'll fight on the AJ bill on December 12th. So it's either the 24th or 21st of November, or it'll be December the 12th.
And there was a lot of talk before his last fight of how you were kind of adapting his style, getting to be a little bit more aggressive, let his hands go more often. Is that still the plan? Is that still the development that you want to see going forward?
You're going to see a different fighter in Hughie. I don't really want to say too much because even in his last fight, although he dispatched Pavel Sauer, we never really got to see anything.
Yeah.
He just decided he wanted to knock Pavel Sauer out, and that's what happened. But like I said, he's been working on a lot of stuff, and I'm really excited. And I think Hughie is as well, to show people what he's about. Hughie's going to silence a lot of people.
Are you quite happy with your stable and your work at the moment? You've obviously got Savannah, you've got Hughie. But would you like to add more people? Would you like it to be busier, or are you quite content with what you've got?
No, to be honest with you, I'm quite content with what I've got. I'm not looking for any more fighters. I've got Savannah and I've got Hughie, and that's enough for me, really. I'm happy.
Good stuff. Now, one thing I know you weren't happy about, and I think a lot of people agree with you, was the Terry O'Connor scorecard from last week in favour of Lewis Ritson by a wide margin over Miguel Vasquez. I don't think many people out there agreed with that scorecard. Since then, he was called before the stewards of the Board of Control, and they appear to have cleared him of any wrongdoing. And I just wanted to see what you made of that. It seems like he's got off very lightly.
Well, people's made big issues that he's looking at a phone and he's doing this, but I've commented on this before and I never said anything about it because I'm not interested in that. Sure, Terry can look down at something and look at the fight. Look, it's like when you're driving a car. You're not transfixed on the road 24/7. So what? He's glanced down and looked at something, whether it be a card, whether it be a phone. Who cares? I'm not interested in any of that bullshit. Yeah. What I'm interested in is in a lot of controversial decisions, quite a lot. So he views fights in a certain way. So that certain way doesn't do justice to the fighters, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't like his scoring. I'm not a fan of his scoring whatsoever. We had a first inclination of him when he boxed Parker.
Oh, yeah.
So and he's done things since then, which has been very controversial as well. So I'm not accusing the man of anything. What I'm saying is, I think he's scoring. I think he needs to go and see the opticians lively. He either needs to see the opticians or he needs cataracts removing. Something is wrong there. So, like I said, what that is, only they know. So that's my opinion of it, and I'll say what I see and say what I think. But that's to say, I'm not saying he's on the take. I'm not saying he's on anything. I'm not interested in mobile phones. I'm saying his scoring is ridiculous.
Do you feel the board chose to focus on those photos of him looking at something, whatever it was, so they didn't have to deal with the real issue, which is his scoring?
Look, the board in general, they do a good job. The boxing board's been going, well, whether we like what the board does, whether we doesn't, it's been going a long, long time. Sure. And in general, they do a good job. Everything's thorough. They police it well. So I've got no complaints with the board. And they've got they've spoken to Terry in depth. They're the ones that's had the meeting and they're happy with it. So, so be it. What I'm saying is, it's got nothing to do with the board. It's got nothing to do with anybody. It's not a personal attack on Terry O'Connor saying he's this, that, and the other. No, I don't think he's anything. I don't really know him anyway. What I'm saying is, his scoring is bizarre, to say the least. and it's costing people. It's the wrong decision, and it is bad for boxing, whether it's straight or otherwise. The point is, it's causing a lot of displeasure with his scoring, and that's it. And it's not just with me, with a Parker fight or whatever. It's happening time and time again. It seems to be coming on his doorstep.
A lot of people on social media following that scoring suggested that all judges should ideally be fighters who fought at a fairly high level, that they'd have a better insight or knowledge in terms of scoring. What do you think of that? Do you think being a former fighter, regardless of top level, whatever, makes you a better judge?
I think it's crap. Let's say Angelo Dundee never had a fight in his life.
True.
But does Angelo Dundee not know what he's doing? Yes. Or, the late Angelo Dundee, I should say. Yeah. One of the greatest trainers and boxing analysts of all time. Never had a boxing match. Never was involved in boxing. So this is what I'm saying. So no, it's crap. Doesn't mean anything.
What do you think? What would you change if you were in charge of the board or a fundamental member of the board, or you are a member of the board? You know what I mean? One of the stewards of the board. What would you change to make judging more consistent?
I would just look at it and give a rational opinion. Don't get me wrong. If you're close up to the fight, and somebody's tapping up and down, and then the other guy's in there and he's landing solid shots, then it's quality over quantity.
Sure.
That we understand. Quality matters. If somebody's flailing away against the gloves and they're hitting all this and not landing any good shots, sure, the guy who's landing the fewer shots, but the quality, you give it to the quality. It's not rocket science boxing. We've all got eyes and we can all see. But some fights you can just see there's a problem. The fighter's lost, but yet he wins. Scorecards, I'd give in if the scorecards was like controversial or, somebody's won it by a split or something. Then you can say, well, hang on a minute, that was a harsh decision. But when you've got a guy winning streaks ahead and all of a sudden he loses by a streak, something's is well wrong, isn't it? We're not all blind. It's not just me looking at these fights and saying, I thought he won. You got 90%, 95 or probably 99% of the public thinks he's won. So we're all not wrong, are we?
Now, just before I let you go, I want to bring it back to next Saturday night, Savannah Marshall challenging for that world title. If she is successful and captures that middleweight belt, how will that rank in terms of your satisfaction compared to some of the big nights you've had in the past?
What I do in boxing, I do God's work. I've had a troubled past, a turbulent past. And everything I do now is for God's work. And boxing allows me to do good things with people. So if I can help people like Savannah, if I can help people try and get there, and whatever a bit it is, I might be 1% in that chain, because without the fighter being talented, you can't help anybody. But that's what we're here to do. And that's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to do any self-gratification. I'm here to do God's work. And it's a very nice thing. And I love sport boxing as well. And the thing is, when they win, that pleasure you get is unbelievable. The fighter, you work with your fighter. And it's nice to be able to say, look, I know you can do it. Give them that confidence and they go out there and do it and achieve it. So all of these things, I'm grateful to boxing. So like I said, I'll be very happy for Savannah.
Great stuff. Peter, I really appreciate the time. It's always great to speak to you.
And you, Danny.
To see
Pleasure.
Man Cave.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
And yeah, hopefully catch up with you after the fight.
Yeah, thank you very much. And we'll speak soon, Danny.
Great stuff. Take care, Peter. Speak soon.
And you. All the best. Bye-bye.